Well, I'm home at last, back in the woods, and I've been thinking about this one idea over and over again that is at the heart of the West. The sorts of things that tend to happen are also the sorts of things that should. It's a powerful idea, and it's an idea that permeates pretty much everything that we do legally and economically. But is it true? So I spend a lot of time thinking about the following idea. The sorts of things that tend to happen are also the sorts of things that should. Now, no one's really said that explicitly in the West, but it is an idea that exists in the West and permeates the West. And I'll give you two examples. One, we have Thomas Jefferson writing in 1776, and he says very clearly that if you leave people alone, if you give them what they really want, which is liberty, everything will be fine. Another is in the same year, 1776, that's Adam Smith. And Adam Smith basically says the same thing about markets. If you leave people alone, something good will happen, perhaps even something optimal. Now, those are very attractive ideas. I think that most of us have benefited from them. I certainly have. But they've also been challenged. Markets challenge that idea themselves. They have periodic failures. There's a whole debate about whether those failures are caused by the presence or absence of government. That's the right-left debate in any given democratic society. But it's empirically the case that there are recessions, there are financial crises, there are challenges to the idea that the sorts of things that tend to happen should happen. Nonetheless, we tend to get over them. We tend to have the technology, whether it's counter-cyclical central bank policy or a fiscal bailout, or just people getting what Keynes called their animal spirits back. Whatever it is, we do tend to get over those challenges. Now, on the political side, we've also got over the challenges, and those challenges tend to be usually enough anyway from outside. They're not inside the system like markets. They're challenges outside. And that's basically autocracy. The Germans started 2 world wars in an attempt to make the argument that there was a different way of doing politics. In fact, that people shouldn't be allowed to do what they want to do. And I think today the Chinese and the Russians have a similar philosophy, albeit they are not, of course, anywhere near as immoral as was Nazi Germany. Now, to date, as I say, what tends to happen is what should, even including those challenges. Even when there's a recession, even when there's a war, we do seem to get back to this idea of liberty, of allowing people to do what they want to do, broadly speaking, in markets and in their personal lives. Here's the thing though, if it turns out that the sorts of things that tend to happen are not the sorts of things that should, say with AI, climate change, the triumph of autocracy in the 21st century, cheerful stuff, then what do we do about all that thinking we've done? What do we do with this idea of constitutional democracy? What do we do with this idea of markets? It will almost be as if we've conflated two completely different things, events and preferences, and that would be a huge problem. Isn't it interesting, though, that Adam Smith wrote what he wrote in 1776, and Thomas Jefferson wrote what he wrote in the same year, 1776, basically made the same argument and didn't talk to each other? I find that pretty interesting. Home sweet home.